Sergeant Jackson had seen a lot in his 10 years in the army, but nothing quite like Private Carter's obsession with MREs. While most soldiers barely tolerated the packaged meals, Carter swore by them. "Beef stew, best thing since sliced bread," he'd say, much to the disgust of his squad mates. One hot afternoon, in the middle of a field exercise at Fort Polk, Louisiana, Carter hatched a plan. The supply sergeant, known as Sarge Mack, guarded the MRE storage like a dragon hoarding gold. But Carter, driven by an insatiable craving for the chili Mac MRE, decided it was time for a little tactical redistribution. The squad gathered around as Carter laid out his strategy. "All right, fellas, we run a diversion. Thompson, you accidentally drop a radio battery near the supply tent. Jackson, you distract Mac by asking about his ex-wife. That always gets him talking. Meanwhile, I'll slip in and grab the goods." "Carter, this is the dumbest plan I've ever heard," Jackson sighed. "But I respect the effort." As the sun dipped below the tree line, the operation commenced. Thompson's battery clattered noisily onto the gravel. Jackson engaged Mac in an in-depth discussion about alimony payments. Meanwhile, Carter crawled under the tent flap, heart pounding. Inside, he was met with an unexpected sight: Mac's ancient bulldog, Brutus, snoring loudly on top of the MRE boxes. Carter hesitated. Brutus was a known snitch, prone to barking at anything that moved. Thinking quickly, Carter grabbed the nearest thing he could find, a bag of peanut butter crackers, and tossed them to the floor. Brutus snorted, sniffed, and slowly waddled toward his unexpected treat. Seizing the opportunity, Carter snatched 3 chili Mac MREs and slipped out like a ghost. Back at the barracks, the squad celebrated their victory. Carter distributed the spoils like a benevolent warlord, basking in the glory of their success. The next morning, however, Mac stood at formation, holding an empty MRE wrapper. "All right, which one of you tactical geniuses thought you could pull a fast one on me?" Silence. Brutus, standing next to him, burped loudly. Mac sighed. "You know what? I don't even care. Whoever did it, just remember, revenge is a dish best served in the form of latrine duty." Carter spent the next 2 weeks scrubbing toilets, but he swore it was worth it. To this day, he claims no meal has ever tasted better than that stolen chili Mac. But this was just the beginning. What started as a one-time heist soon became a legend. Carter, now emboldened, began devising even more elaborate schemes. The squad, initially amused, started taking bets on how long he could keep it up before Mac caught on. One evening, Carter aimed higher. The squad's rations were running low, and rumors swirled that a fresh shipment of premium MREs had arrived, the kind with the mythical jalapeno cheese spread. The plan involved a recon mission. Carter, alongside Thompson and a reluctant Jackson, observed Mac's movements for days. They discovered that Mac had a soft spot for late-night poker games, often leaving his tent unattended for short periods. This was their window. On the chosen night, Carter, donned in full tactical face paint for absolutely no reason other than dramatic effect, crawled through the darkness toward the supply tent. Jackson, stationed near the poker game, provided live updates via whispered radio chatter. "He's laughing about something, probably a bad hand. You got time, Carter." Slipping inside, Carter found the mother lode, stacks upon stacks of pristine MRE boxes. He loaded his pack with as many as he could carry. Just as he turned to leave, his foot hit a metal tin, sending it clattering across the floor. Outside, Jackson's voice hissed in his earpiece. "Abort! Abort! He's coming back!" Panic set in. Carter knew there was only one way out, through the back of the tent. He dove through the fabric, landing flat in the mud, and took off in a low sprint back to the barracks. Behind him, Mac's unmistakable voice roared through the night. "You little, when I get my hands on you, you're gonna be on KP duty for a year." Reaching the barracks, Carter executed a perfect shoulder roll through the back door, crashing into a locker but keeping his grip on the MREs. The squad yanked him inside, slamming the door shut just as Mac rounded the corner. Silence. Then, a knock. "Open up, I know you're in there." Jackson did his best to sound innocent. "Who, us? We've been here all night, Sarge." Mac's sigh was legendary. "Fine. But if I find out who's behind this, there won't be enough scrub brushes in the world to save you." The squad celebrated their spoils that night, feasting like kings on jalapeno cheese spread and stale crackers. Carter, grinning ear to ear, leaned back inside. "Gentlemen, we are now in the history books." And so, the legend of the Great MRE heist only grew, whispered through generations of soldiers as a tale of bravery, mischief, and, above all, an undying love for Chili Mac.